Okay, so for this video, I want to talk about Revonik. I don't know if you watched my Revonik video. Okay, so I just want to share with you how I come across Revonik. Basically, I follow quite a lot of this fishing shop from this Biwa Lake. So Biwa Lake is what is Biwa Lake? So basically, Biwa Lake is a place in Shiga near to Kyoto. You can go up from Osaka. You can go up from Nagoya. Surprisingly, it looks nearer from Osaka to Biwa Lake. But when I check the driving distance, it seems like, I don't know, because of traffic or what, right? It's nearer from Nagoya to Biwa Lake. So what happened is Biwa Lake is the holy grail of bass fishing in Japan. So most of the companies like Jacko, all these DRT, all these crazy big companies or crazy rich company or crazy small company, they are all at Biwa Lake. So when I went to Biwa Lake and I went to follow some of these tackle shop for some time because I'm planning a trip there, I saw everybody sharing this lure called Revonik. So I was wondering what is Revonik. I mean, I've been fishing in the industry for so long, 20 over years, luring. I never heard of this brand called Revonik. Then I went to Google and I went to check it out and I realized Revonik comes from this guy called Seiji Kaito. So as usual, I went to Google Seiji Kaito. I'm not somebody that follows like people so much. So I went to Google Seiji Kaito and I'm like, wow, this guy is amazing. So basically, if you watch the interview, he's the guy that started. I think he told me that he started at Daiwa first. Then later he went to Lucky Craft. Then he designed the lure pointer. Okay, so how pointer got famous is I went to check it out. Basically, pointer, he designed pointer. Pointer won a lot of competition, whether is it in US or in Japan. That's how pointer got famous. So pointer is like a minnow, like a jerkbait kind of thing. Then later on, he went to set up Jacko. So Jacko was big. Okay, Jacko is one of the legend in Japan because when I started, I think 15 or 17 years ago, Jacko just came out. I still have Jacko first lure. It's called the Mars 100. Okay, it's made of rubber one. Let me try to find it for you so that I can show you. Okay, to be frank with you, I still find all these lures in Japan sometimes, whether is it in Tackleberry or in Tackle Shop. This is Jacko first lure. It's called the Mars 100. Okay, let me block it up so they can see. Okay, why is it called Mars 100? Yeah, I want to show you from this angle. Do you see? It's actually a rubber. Okay, here in front cannot move lah. Okay, behind can move. Okay, this is Mars 100. Okay, this is the lure that I first know about. Mars 100 that I know about Jacko. So how I know about Mars 100 is I saw this video where they were fishing at this I think they were fishing at this pond where there's a lot of fish inside. Then they try to use the Mars 100 to trick the fish to bite. So I was like, wow, amazing. So at that time they did a lot of video and that's how they became a booms and then they came up with TN. If you know TN is a vibe that is very popular for its sound. It's very loud and all these things. Then they got popular and then blah 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 blah. Actually, at a point, I thought Jacko was sold to Japan. I was sold to Shimano because I saw this poison rod that this series called Ultima Poison or something that was like Shimano or something. So basically, they told me it's like collaboration. So I kind of understand. Okay. So cut the crap. We went Revolik. Then we were honored to be able to meet Senji Kaito, do an interview with him, understand his thinking and how he designed the lures, what's his mindset, all these things. I think it was totally amazing. Okay, so the interesting thing is I brought back some of these lures. Okay, so I don't know if you know that a lot of Japan brands they always care about their domestic market because their domestic market is very big. Japan fishing market is very big. So they don't really focus outside of Japan. They only sell in their market first. So this is the first time Revolik is being sold out of Japan and I brought it out. I bought a lot and I carry a whole box. If you watch the video, somebody leave a comment and say, hey, I saw you carrying a box out. Yeah, those are the box that we carry out to sell in our shop. So you can see Revonik in our redtackle.com. So the interesting thing is, besides just getting the hype over who is Senji Kaito, I think the most important thing is to understand how he designed the lures and why did he design it this way. Because lure design has reached like to me has reached like ultimate. Everybody is almost the same now. What's the difference between lures? It's very hard to see with the naked eye sometimes. If you look at the naked eye, right, a lure to a lure is almost the same, but it may be very different in the inside. So the first lure that he designed and he told me about was this pop-up jig. Okay, the lure looks a little bit different. The jig looks a little bit different. So why he called it pop-up jig? I was also wondering, and that's why I asked him. Totally, I can tell you the shape of the jig. Is it special? It looks a little bit special. They have this special metal thing that's very long. Then the hook is in the middle instead of the back. I think at the back they give another eyelet, maybe for the treble or something. So I asked him, so why and how do you invent this pop-up jig? So basically, I can't understand why, because I there was a period of time that we were chasing for pelagics, and these pelagic fish like queenfish lah, barracuda lah, they like to take very fast action. Like you spin the lure back very fast, and sometimes you spin the jig so fast that even if it wiggles on the surface or you is flying on the surface, just tapping on the surface, they also would want to hit it. So I can't understand when he says, oh, he designed this when he was in US and there was like tuna and they were casting jigs and they were trying to crank so fast so that the jigs can actually wiggle on the surface and then the tuna can try to whack it. So that's how he came up with this pop-up jig. So basically this jig is like a top water jig. It's supposed to cast very far, crank fast so that it doesn't fly out of the water. You still try to maintain at the surface of the water so fast so that the pelagics can hit it instead of just the jig flying out. So I can't understand, because when you crank very fast, sometimes the jig start to fly out, you start to slow down and then the fish will start to U-turn and then don't bite already. So I know where he's coming from. So I was quite amazed. I haven't had chance to test it out, but you guys can check it out. We don't have a lot left, to be frank, because they are all made in Japan, made in the factory that we went. So they don't really have a lot over there. Okay, they don't really have a lot over there. Okay, Shindy 110. So I think the lure that got popular or got more people talking about it in Instagram and whatsoever is Shindy 110. So what happened is I went to check, like, I mean, to you it looks like a minnow, to me it looks like a minnow. I mean, there's nothing special. So I did some research and Google and find out, like, hey, what is the difference between like Shindy 110 and whatsoever. Okay, now that I saw something very interesting here. Okay, over here it writes that Shindy 110 is hand painted by SK, which is Senji Kaito. So this lure is hand painted by him himself. Okay, I think it's interesting lah. I mean, at least for me lah. Okay, then in the interview you also watch that he says that, okay, I think it's the material and the thinness of the lure to create the reactive and stability of the lure. I have to say that I have tested the lure in Singapore and we have caught a fish. Unfortunately, because that day it was raining, so I was trying to hide somewhere, so I was trying to pull the lure out from like the breakwater, and then I accidentally broke the bit. So I realized that the bit is quite fragile. Okay, can you see? Yeah, the bib is quite fragile. So if you use this lure, you got to be really careful. The action is very good. The stability, the twitching, everything is amazing. I think we caught the fish in like 3 or 4 casts. Then sadly I broke the bib, so I got to buy another one. So I think besides the bib being fragile, I think that's one of the main thing that you got to take note of. But besides that, I think the lure is really good. The hooks are really very sharp. Okay, the hooks are really very sharp, as in the original hooks by this Revonik. I have difficulty getting the hook out from the fish. The hooks are really very sharp. The casting is amazing. And I thought that it was like a ball bearing system, but when I try to shake it, right, I realized that the ball bearing here, right, is actually fixed one. The ball doesn't actually roll behind. So it's not a ball bearing system, it's just a normal weight system. Yet the casting can be so good. So I'm amazed by it. So you can check it out. Then before, I think the lure after pop-up jigs In the middle of Pop Jigs and Shindy is this lure called Volbeat. Okay, it's this lure called Volbeat. It's a Vibe. It comes with this metal thing so that you prevent it from snapping. So when you buy, it will come with this metal thing. Okay, okay. This Vibe, right? Interesting part about it is it has a sinking model and a floating model. It has a 60 and a 70. So there's two sizes. Okay, there's two sizes. I've been trying to understand, like, since he have designed TN and now he's designed Volbeat, what can the difference be? So I was really wondering, and all these things. To be frank, I'm not a big fan about the floating Vibe. I feel that it doesn't go deep enough for our fishing. So actually, I was thinking of putting a heavier hook to see if I can make it slow sink or suspending, to try to see if I can get into the space where the peacock bass is. So I'm still trying it out. But one very interesting thing that I have found out about this lure, I don't know if it can be captured on this camera, but it's the sound of it. Okay, I try to let you listen. I don't know if you can hear it. We try to keep quiet and try to listen. Is it very familiar? Is it like TN? I feel that it's a little bit I feel that it's a little bit less bassy than TN. Like, instead of the knock knock knock, he has a kong 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 sound. I don't know how to explain, but it's quite interesting. I haven't had a chance to catch a local fish on it for peacock bass, but if you watch the bass video for Biwa Lake, right, I caught many small bass on it. I think it was at the end of the video where I started casting the vibes because the fish were at a deeper place. I think we caught like maybe 7 to 8 pieces of them on the sinking model. Okay, so I think it's quite interesting because I care a lot about the sound, and I think he that designed the lure also care a lot about the sound. So this is something that you can go and try to understand. Okay, so you can find all these things on our website redtackle.com. So that's it. So far there's three lures coming, three lures in their whole series. There's another one called the dot 6, but dot 6 is like a shallow crankbait. To be frank, crankbait isn't the best thing that we can use to catch peacock bass because it doesn't really work that well in our waters. So I didn't really bring it in. But I can tell you that the big mouth bass really eat like all kinds of things. Depends on the condition, depends on the depth, depends on the season. So I can understand why they are designing so many lures to catch this big mouth bass. But peacock bass is a little bit different lah. So I feel that the dot 6 is not like something that works well for peacock bass. This is why we didn't bring it in. So that's it. Hit the like button, subscribe button. I see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you check out our website because there's a lot of interesting things that we are bringing in. We are going Biwa again next year, so hopefully by then when he release more new lures, we will be able to bring it back. So thank you and bye bye.